this is Kina Knisley with Keller Williams, and this is Real Talk about real estate. And today I have Sarah DiMonaco from Tampa, Florida. Thank you so much for joining us. How are you?
I'm doing well. How are you?
Great. So what's going on in Tampa right now? How is the market?
Well, the market is interesting. Um, you and I were talking earlier about how some neighborhoods, the houses are flying off the market and some are sitting a little bit longer. So we have some traditionally always hot spots where the homes are unique and those houses are moving really quickly when you get into, this historic neighborhoods or South Tampa, which tends to be higher end stuff, waterfront stuff. But out in the suburbs, it becomes a little bit more challenging. And one of the challenges people that bought in the last several years have in our suburbs is that they're still competing against builders because the suburbs of Florida are not built out. So that's tough news for sellers unless they have assumable mortgages, and then it becomes kind of better news. But what it has been is really kind of cool for the buyers because the buyers are able to go directly to the builders who are buying these interest rates, some of them down as low as 4.5%, and you just can't get that in the resale market. So it's a little bit of a mixed bag of tricks.
Yeah, so I just talked to an agent in Vegas and their builders are doing 3.99. So it's just cutting the throats of sellers. They just can't, you just can't compete with 3.99. So yeah, here we don't have, I think they can get 5.99, which is still better, but not enough that it's cutting us off at the knees for our sellers. But we have stuff sitting too. So what's your average price point in Tampa?
That is also a very loaded question. Um, you know, in some neighbor, I would say the average price point is probably around 500,000 in the city of Tampa, in the city, like near the city limits. But the actual geography of Tampa, where the address says Tampa gets pretty large and some of it reaches into the suburbs. And when you get out into the suburbs outside of Tampa, the Brandon, Valrico, Riverview, Apollo Beach, those areas tend to be less.
Oh,
But
less
when you get
than
into
500?
like closer to downtown, it's probably 750, 800 is your average price
So
point.
what's the 500,000s? What's it getting you? Like, is it big, square foot wise, land wise?
In the suburbs, it will get you 2,300 square feet in
Wow.
a, new construction. Um, in the city, it gets you three bedrooms, two baths, and maybe 1,500 square feet.
That's what we're seeing here. But ours is 115. 115 gives
Yeah.
you a 3-2, 1,500 square feet on a
Yeah,
5,000 square foot lot.
Hawaii is expensive. You have to sell a lot more houses than I do.
Yes, yes. So, but Tampa's just as beautiful, you guys. So what do you have to do in Tampa?
Well, probably not unlike Hawaii. Tampa outdoor life is real, is outdoor activities are available to you all year long. So in my background, you see sailing. I'm a big sailboat racer. So, you have year-round the ability to sail, play pickleball, play golf. We're not far from springs for kayaking. We have lots of good state and national parks to do camping and tennis, golf, if I didn't already say golf. And in the city of Tampa, we have, like, I live 1.4 miles from an area called the Riverwalk. And, anything I want to go to in downtown, outdoor festivals, which really take place kind of from September to May. It gets kind of hot and rainy in the summertime for some of that. We just ride our bikes. We ride our bikes to hockey games. We ride our bikes along the Riverwalk. It's a very my brother jokes that it's an outdoor drinking culture, an active yet drinking culture. Like, oh, we ride our bikes here and go have a glass of wine, and then we ride our bikes here and go sailing and have a beer.
Oh, how
Anyways, so he
fun.
kind of teases me, but I'm an empty nester and moved from the suburbs 10 years ago into downtown, and it's a great place to be.
Wow. So now what about investors? Is it a good place? Is Tampa a good place? Can you cash flow if you buy a long-term or short-term rental?
Yes, you have to shop really carefully. And I don't want to go into the deep woods on this, but we have opportunity zones. I don't know if you guys have those in Hawaii as well. Probably not as many. And honestly, I imagine they'll evaluate what some of these zones are um, pretty soon because their neighbor, there were a lot of blighted houses and people were buying them and scraping them and putting up $850,000 houses. So I think once you get to the $850,000 house price, you're probably not talking about a blighted neighborhood. Um, there are, we have 8 areas that are hot, and the way it is in Tampa, we've got the Ybor City area is hot. Tampa, Seminole Heights has become hot, and then there's sort of a fill in the middle area. And in my opinion, but which my opinion plus $1.35 will get you through the crosstown on a toll. In my opinion, it's those areas to fill in, as the gentrification or the improvement or the price, as the closer they get, the good area expands and eventually they'll merge to be another good area. We've seen it all over Tampa in the last 10 years. The neighborhood I live in now, you couldn't have paid me to live in 15 years ago.
Really? So they've like improved it that much? Just
Well, yeah, what they did was they really revitalized downtown and they built the Riverwalk area. And also, I'm not going to ever be a city planner because I thought this is really dumb that they're investing all this money to a sidewalk along the water. But it's, downtown Tampa's gone from a place that you walked quickly to your car after 6 o'clock to a community that's vibrant till 9 o'clock on the weekend, on the weeknights, and way later than that on the weekends. And you go along this Riverwalk and there's restaurants and parks, water parks, pickleball courts, festivals, the whole thing going on. And then you get a block or so off, and there are tons of restaurants and bars, historic movie theaters, like really cool things to do. And you can be out there at 10 o'clock at night, and family on the weekends, families are walking, riding their bikes. And the Riverwalk's pretty wide, like the skywalk's wide, so it is bike and walk friendly. You
oh,
could rent
that's
those Lime
amazing.
scooters, which they have finally got wise and made it so that there's a limit on how fast you can go in those scooters because kids were kind of whizzing around on them.
Yeah, yeah, we have that issue here too.
And we have pirate taxis. So the pirate taxi, buy a ticket, I think it's like $10. And again, I ride my bike everywhere, so I don't get on the pirate taxi often, but it has several stops along the Riverwalk. So you can get in on the north end of the Riverwalk, which is kind of where I live, and you can go all the way down to the convention center, and it stops at several dining establishments, parks, hotspot areas, and you can get off and then just get back on because your pass is for the day.
Oh, wow. Well,
So
see,
if you're
already that
staying
worked
in
out.
downtown Tampa, you probably don't need transportation. I mean, we're no New York City when it comes to mass transportation, but between being able to rent an e-bike, rent a scooter, take the pirate taxi, and then we also have a trolley that goes from Ybor City to down to the channel side past the cruise docks and to where through parts of downtown. You don't really need a car if you come here.
Oh, wow. So, see,
So
now I need to go to Tampa.
I know, right?
So, I'm gonna have to come visit you when I'm in Florida. So I'll
I'll take you
take care of,
sailing on a big boat, I promise, not the little ones like you talked about.
yeah,
Or
the little ones without a motor. Yeah, I tried.
no,
I tried. Yeah, yeah, moving out rudder
yeah,
wasn't.
no, we had one of those, a little one, and that had no motor, and it was a wet boat, and I like the bigger boats better. It's
Yeah, I will jump on a boat anytime somebody has a boat ride. I'll go.
right. And it's funny because I've lived here 30 years and I still, if we see a dolphin while we're out sailing, which we see like every time we're out sailing, we're still like, oh, a dolphin, the
Yeah,
magic
yeah,
never goes
we have
away.
the
But,
sea turtles that'll pop their head up.
I
There are
did my
Pacific
honeymoon in
turtles
Hawaii and was
around, but
very
yeah,
excited by a sea turtle that came up
yeah.
next to our little rubber raft. We were in Kauai. Yeah, I'll never forget it. I wanted to jump over and the guy wouldn't let me because I didn't have my life.
Yeah, yeah, you're supposed to not mess with them. But they're so
Well, you shouldn't.
but
But they're
yeah,
beautiful.
this
I
is
scuba dive, so they're my favorites.
oh yes. Well, you'll have to come visit. You'll have to come visit me and we can go diving and yeah, here, I mean, it is amazing, but I've never been to Tampa. Yeah, I'm a grandma. I always hit Orlando. I need to branch out a
Oh
little
yeah, we're
bit.
only an hour away from Orlando.
So yeah, so I will actually be in Orlando in October for a couple masterminds. Um, Agents of
Keller
Excellence.
Williams related or
Um, Agents of Excellence is inside the park and it's Disney level service in your business. And then there's
nice.
fun 3 days before that, and it's outside the park. So I'll send you the information. I mean, because any mastermind's a good mastermind just to connect
Well,
with.
here's the other thing I'll tell you. So the Florida agents, we all network together a lot, just like you and I do nationally. And we will put a group together to come. We'll set up a lunch or a dinner where everybody comes and hangs out with you on some free time that you have. So let me know and we'll put
Oh
it together.
yeah, no, I would totally love that. Yeah. So, but no, but again, I will travel for masterminds. It's just a bonus when it's in Disney, and then the grandkids can come and use their season passes. So
So I recently read the book Unreasonable Hospitality. Have you ever read that?
no, no. What is that one?
I want to say it's John Acuff, and
Mm,
it's called Unreasonable Hospitality. And it's written by a guy who attempts to help a restaurant get a Michelin star, not just based on food, but based on the service
yeah,
that they provide. And I drive around listening to audiobooks
yeah,
sometimes
we
because the
do.
news makes me stressed out.
Yeah,
So,
we just don't.
anyway, I was driving kind of long for a waterfront property. I just listed a property with a boat, if you know anybody for wants to be a snowbird in Florida. That
Oh,
comes with a 16-foot boat. Um, anyway, it's his journey to create an employee culture and service culture to heighten the customer experience and help them to get the Michelin star, not just because of food, because so many stars are just chef driven. And it's just great. And it made me really think a lot about the client experience.
so
And it's
yeah,
maybe,
yeah, I
kind of
love. I
tweak
mean, all
little
the
things.
Disney books are excellent. He's got great, and now he's, I think, written some geared towards real estate.
I'm
So
gonna have to check it out because we did when I worked for a drug rehab, no less. We back in the 80s, we did a training, an in search of excellence training,
well, yeah, I will send.
which was based on Disney. And
Yeah,
it was again just, I don't think I've been in this business 21 years, and I don't think you ever stop learning how to do it better.
no, no, and that's how I feel. I always get a nugget somewhere. But thank you so much. This has been great to get to
Yeah,
know
this was
you.
fun.
And if you have anybody looking to buy, sell, or invest in Tampa, Florida, let me know, and I would love to get you connected. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Kina.